to ask you before I take off about the pandemic, because how is it affecting Syria? Are you guys in lockdown, and what do you think about the whole thing?
Well, we are not on lockdown. All the places are open, the restaurants, the bars, the cafes. Some people wear masks, some people don't wear masks, but it's not really mandatory because, like in Syria, we're facing bigger problems than a flu. You understand? We have bigger things to worry about than a flu. But of course, the pandemic made the situation way more worse, especially that we have economic sanctions, and these economic sanctions that are imposed on the Syrian people has destroyed the economy. We are no longer allowed to import or export. All the embassies are closed. You can't make money online. A Syrian isn't allowed to have a MasterCard or a PayPal. We started having a fuel crisis, electricity crisis. Like right now, there are areas in Syria that you only have electricity for 9 or 10 hours a day. A bread crisis, water crisis. The situation is very, very bad, and the pandemic made it worse, especially with the economic sanctions, the Caesar sanctions that America is implementing and that NATO countries are also implementing on Syria. So a lot of Syrian people currently are suffering. They're trying to find a way out because of the pandemic and economic sanctions and war. Like imagine, think of it, bro. You have Americans right now that because they've been on lockdown for 6 months, they are crying on social media. I can't take this shit anymore, lockdown. So imagine a Syrian that is living in Syria for 10 years in a war zone, where bombs are falling daily. ISIS, Al Qaeda, suicide bombing, America striking, Israel striking. You have more than 70 armies fighting in your country. So I think it's time that the American people stand up and speak out. A lot of people are speaking out currently, especially after Biden struck us this week. I've seen a lot of Americans that are sending me messages and they're speaking out online. They're telling me we don't support the bombing of Syria. We don't support military inventions. We want our troops to go back home. Uh, we want to stop these endless wars in the Middle East. But they have to make their voices heard by the American government.
It was huge on Twitter. I don't know if it was trending, but like my feed was liberals and conservatives dunking on Biden because of the Syria. Like the big meme was like, "Hey, can we have a $2,000 check?" And he's like, "No, but you can have a Syrian war." And like, it was going viral. So I think it's
Yeah.
the good thing about Biden is, well, I definitely not his foreign policy, but I was hoping not with all this capital stuff and dividing left and right, but I was hoping everybody from progressive left to right wing would finally be like, okay, we all agree that we don't like that. I was hoping the unity would be like, we all don't want that. And it happens at certain points, and then I feel like the media turns people against each other again. So I thought that would be the one positive point, would be like
Yeah.
maybe we can have even a bigger opposition to what's going on.